Assalamualaikum and a very good evening. In this video, me, Abdul Hadi and my partners, Muhammad Shakif Imran and Muhammad Zulilmi would like to present about three-phase induction motor. A three-phase induction motor runs on a three-phase AC supply. It is widely used for industrial applications because it has many advantages such as very simple design and rugged, very reliable and low in cost, having high efficiency and good power factor, etc. However, it also has some disadvantages such as the speed will decrease when the load increase, and when the speed increases, the efficiency will become lower.
Basically, we have two different type of motor. As for the AC motor, we have synchronous and asynchronous motor. And for the asynchronous motor, we have the single phase and three phase motor. Asynchronous motor is the most common form of motor which is used in our daily life. The main reason is because these motors are very flexible to use and match the load demand almost for everything. The most widely used are induction motor because they are very important for many industries due to their load bearing capacity and flexibility. Besides, they are generally used for various types of pumps, compressors, and act as prime movers for many machineries. AC motor can find their usage in two forms based on their power supply: single phase motor and three phase motor. The single phase motor are generally found their use in lower power or domestic appliance. Meanwhile, the three phase motor are generally found for higher power requirement. For understanding the working principle of three phase induction motor, we first look at the basic construction of this type of motor. Three-phase induction motor mainly consists two major parts. The first one is stator. The starter of the motor is made of number of lamination of cold grain oriented silicon steel to reduce the eddy current. The inner periphery of this cylindrical stator is provided with number of slots. A three-phase winding is so similarly distributed among these slots. That is, when a three-phase power is supplied, a rotating magnetic field is produced. This magnetic field is rotated at asynchronous speed. The second major part of three-phase induction motor is rotor. Rotor consists of cylindrical laminated core with parallel slots. Conductors are made of heavy copper or aluminium bar. They are short-circuited by an entrance which fits in each slot. Initially, when the rotor is standstill, the flux of rotating magnetic field cut every solid conductor. As the rotor conductors are stationary and sinusoidal, stator field is rotating there will be changed in a flux. As a result, there will be an induced current in the motor conductor as per Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. Whenever this current starts flowing through the conductor, it reacts with the magnetic field again. As we know that the current carrying conductor inside a magnetic field experiences a mechanical force. Hence here, a mechanical force will be experienced by the rotor conductor. Due to this force, the rotor will start rotating inside the stator, and the rotor will try to achieve the speed of rotating magnetic field. Once the rotor achieves the rotating speed of the magnetic field, there will be no relative speed between rotor and magnetic field. Hence, there will be no current induced in the rotor conductor. By this also, there will be no mechanical force act on the rotor conductor. Hence, as the rotor decelerates, the relative speed between rotor and magnetic field will be re-established. And then, this is how current induced in the rotor conductor which cause mechanical force to act again on them. As a result, the rotor again accelerates to reach the speed of the rotating magnetic field. Due to this phenomenon, the rotor will never reach the speed of rotating magnetic field, and also the rotor will not stop rotating till the three-phase power is there in the stator. By this is how three-phase induction motor works.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Zulmi. So, how to reverse the rotor rotation? Let's move to the theory part. The direction of rotating of rotor is same as the rotating magnetic field of stator. This is the diagram of three-phase brushless motor, and it can run either in two directions, which is ABC or CBA. So any two circuits will change from one direction to another direction, which will change direction of rotation. Here's the demonstration. Since it has 3 wires, we can reverse any two of those wires. And this is 3-phase. So let's see the first one. It rotates to the anti-clockwise direction. Now we will reverse 2 of the wires. We can notice the motor is now turning to another direction, which is clockwise. It is simple as that. How about the speed control of motor? The speed control methods of induction motor can be controlled by 2 methods. First, speed control with respect to stator side of the induction motor. Second, speed control with respect to rotor. For speed control at stator side, first, by changing supply voltage of the motor. Second, changing stator pole numbers of motor. And third, changing frequency of supply side of motor. By changing the supply voltage of the motor, this is the torque equation. The torque developed by induction motor varies as square of the voltage applied to its stator terminal. Thus, by varying the applied voltage, electromagnetic torque developed by motor can be varied. So, for changing the stator pole numbers of the motor, here's the formula of the synchronous speed of motor. Ns is synchronous speed, F is the power frequency, and P is the number of poles. And directly adding or remove poles and thus varying the motor speed, the number of the poles can be changed by A. Multiple stator winding, B. Method of consequent poles, and C. Pole of amplitude modulation. For changing frequency supply of motor, by changing the supply frequency, the motor synchronous speed can be altered and thus the torque speed of 3-phase induction motor can be controlled. The synchronous speed of the motor at rate condition is known as the base speed. And the second part is speed control of induction motor or rotor side. First, add the external resistor into rotor side circuit. Second, apply cascade connection. Third, inject EMF into rotor side circuit of the motor. For adding an external resistance into rotor side circuit, this method is applicable only the one rotor induction motors. Speed variation can be obtained by inserting external resistors in the rotor circuit. External resistors are placed in series with the rotor windings to restarting to limit the starting current. For cascade connection, in the cascade operation method of induction motor speed controlling, there are 2 motors are mounted on the same shaft on the motor and run at the same speed. One motor is connected to 3-phase supply and other is worked from the field-induced EMF of the first motor to exit the rings. By using this method, different speed can apply for induction motor and speed can control. Last is injecting EMF into rotor side of motor. In this induction motor speed control method, external voltage added into the rotor circuit of the motor and the frequency must be the same as the slip frequency. So, injecting EMF into opposite phase of the rotor increase the rotor resistance. By that, this method can use to speed controlling of induction motor. And for the torque control of motor, so here's the formula of torque, which is torque proportional to the K into times by S times by E2 times by R2 divided by R2 plus S times by S2 square. K is the constant, which is 3 over 2 pi ns. S is the slip. E2 is the EMF induced at second winding of motor. R2 is the resistance at rotor winding. And the denominator R2 again is the resistance at rotor winding, and SS2 is the slip at rotor second winding. So, by referring to this equation, you can manipulate on any of these to increase or decrease the torque control. Thank you.
So, basically, there are 3 types of classified faults, which are electrical, mechanical, and environmental faults. Firstly, I would like to explain about electrical faults. Firstly, there are single-phasing fault. It can occur when any phase of supply voltage is lost. Secondly, there is reverse phase sequencing fault. It can occur when any of the 3 phase voltage is reversed. The third one is under or over supply voltages fault. It occurs when supply voltages are under the specific limit, which is usually between 380 volt to 440 volt. And the next one is earth fault. It can occur when any of the phase of supply voltage is connected to the housing of the motor and the motor is totally shorted. Another one is interturn short circuit fault. It happens when two turns of same phase or different phases are connected in short circuit. And the last electrical fault is trolling fault. It is basically an electromechanical fault in the three-phase induction motor. It occurs when motor is fully loaded with supply voltages. Now, let's move on to mechanical fault. This kind of fault generally occurred in internal housing of the motor. The first one is broken rotor bar fault. It happens when the bars in the motor are damaged or cracked. There are so many reasons for this fault to happen, but the most common one is manufacturer defect. The second example is bearing fault. The bearings are installed to support the motor shaft. The main purposes are to rotate the shaft freely and to reduce friction. But sometimes, the balls, outer or inner ring of the bearing is damaged due to any physical problem. And lastly, the last type of fault is environmental fault. Actually, the environmental fault is also important. Induction motors surrounding environment such as ambient temperature and moisture can affect the performance of the induction motor. Besides, the vibration in induction motor that could be due to any reason such as not properly installed also can affect the performance of the induction motor. And that concludes our presentation in this video. Thank you for watching.